Right then, Forest faithful. Something massive is brewing at the City ground, and you're not going to believe what's unfolded in the past 48 hours. I'm talking about 5 separate developments that could completely reshape our season. And I mean completely. We've got drama with our Sunday opponents, we've got Brazilian flair heading our way, we've got Italian excellence already through the door, and there's still more business cooking behind the scenes. But here's the thing that's got me absolutely buzzing. While other clubs are scrambling and panicking as deadline day approaches, we're operating like a club that knows exactly what it's doing. The contrast between us and certain London clubs couldn't be starker right now. First up, there's news from the capital has handed us a golden opportunity this weekend. I'm talking about a key player who might not even make the trip to Nottingham. And trust me, when you hear which player it is, you'll understand why this could be the break we've been waiting for. Then we got the Brazilian connection that's been dominating headlines. The left back everyone's been talking about. The deal that seemed impossible just weeks ago. Well, let's just say things have taken a dramatic turn and Botafogo have made a decision that changes everything. But that's not all, is it? We've already welcomed Italian quality to the City ground. £13 million worth of defensive talent straight from Turin. And when I tell you about this lad's Champions League pedigree, you're going to be as excited as I am about what he brings to Nuno's system. Speaking of goalkeeping, remember how frustrated our gaffer has been about needing that final piece between the posts? Well, there's a 29-year-old Brazilian who's been putting pen to paper, and his CV includes Club World Cup experience. That's the level we're operating at now, Forest fans. And if all that wasn't enough, we're not done yet. 3 more positions that could be filled before Monday's deadline. 3 more signings that could complete the most ambitious transfer window in our recent history. Now, I need to know, are you feeling as confident about this season as I am right now? Because what I'm about to reveal in the next part is going to show you just how much of an advantage we've got heading into Sunday's clash. Hit that like button if you're ready for this roller coaster. Drop a comment telling me your prediction for the weekend, and let's dive into the first revelation that proves we're not just back. We're back with a vengeance. Right, let's talk about this weekend, shall we? There's a certain attacking midfielder who's been the heartbeat of West Ham's creativity this season. The Brazilian who scored their only goal in 2 Premier League matches. But here's the twist that's got me absolutely delighted. I'm talking about Lucas Paqueta, and the news surrounding him couldn't be better for us Forest fans. According to The Athletic, Aston Villa have come knocking for the Brazilian maestro, and these transfer rumors have completely unsettled him. So much so that he's reportedly unlikely to even feature against us on Sunday. Let that sink in for a moment. West Ham's most creative player, their only goal scorer this season, might not even make the journey to the City ground. Now think about what this means tactically. Graham Potter is already desperate enough to throw Matheus Fernandes straight into the firing line after signing him this week. The Portuguese midfielder from Southampton? Yes! The same lad who caused us problems back in January with 7 accurate crosses and an assist in their 3-2 defeat. But here's the difference. Back then, he was playing alongside established teammates in a settled system. This Sunday, he'll be learning Potter's tactics on the fly, surrounded by a squad that's managed just 1 goal in 2 matches. The contrast is absolutely stark. While West Ham are scrambling with 3 consecutive defeats and sitting towards the foot of the table, we're sitting pretty with our unbeaten start intact. Paul Merson's already predicting a comfortable Forest victory. And can you blame him? When your opponents are in complete disarray, missing their star player and forced to throw new signings straight into crucial matches. Here's a little detail that perfectly sums up West Ham's current state. They've been so desperate to improve their midfield that they've had to sign Fernandes to compete with James Ward-Prowse. Yes, our former loanee. Remember how he struggled to make a real impact with us? Well, he's currently their first choice midfielder. That tells you everything about where they are right now. The psychological aspect is equally important. Paqueta's situation isn't just about missing 1 match. It's about the uncertainty that's clearly affecting the entire squad. When your best creative player's head has been turned by transfer speculation, when the club's struggling to score goals, when the pressure's mounting after 3 straight defeats, that creates an atmosphere of doubt that we can absolutely exploit. And let's not forget the timing. This isn't happening in isolation. It's part of a wider pattern of instability that's plagued West Ham throughout the summer. Meanwhile, we've been methodical, decisive, and ambitious in our transfer dealings. So here's my question for you. Given what we know about their current state of chaos, what do you think our winning margin should be on Sunday? Are we looking at a comfortable victory, or could this turn into something special? Drop your predictions in the comments right now, because what I'm about to reveal next shows just how serious we are about building something magnificent this season. The Brazilian connection that's got everyone talking is about to blow your mind. Now then, let's talk about the Brazilian who's got Botafogo fans in absolute uproar and Forest supporters dreaming of attacking brilliance down the left flank. We're talking about Cuiabano, and Botafogo have just accepted our proposal that changes everything. Here's what makes this absolutely fascinating. This isn't just any ordinary left-back signing. This is a 22-year-old who's accumulated 7 goals and 7 assistancies in just 60 appearances for Botafogo. 7 goals from left-back. When did you last see those numbers from a defender? That's the kind of attacking output that transforms how we approach matches. But the journey to get here hasn't been straightforward, has it? Earlier this summer, salary issues nearly scuppered the entire deal. Brighton was sniffing around with proposals worth $9 million. That's roughly $7.7 million. But we've persevered, we've negotiated, and now Botafogo have said yes to our terms. The timing is absolutely crucial. Cuiabano's currently recovering from a left ankle injury, but if everything goes to plan, he could be available after the international break. That means potential debut appearances in our Europa League campaign. Imagine that for a moment. A Brazilian fullback who's used to the pressures of Copa Libertadores football, suddenly bombing down the left wing at the City ground with the Trent end roaring behind him. Here's the tactical genius of this signing. Nuno Espirito Santo has been crying out for attacking width, and Cuiabano isn't just defensive cover. He's a genuine attacking weapon. His crossing ability, his pace going forward, his experience playing at the highest level in South American football. This is exactly the profile we needed to complement our European ambitions. And let's talk about ambition, because that's what this really represents. Cuiabano had a contract with Botafogo until December 2027. They were actively trying to renew his deal with improved wages. Yet here we are, convincing both club and player that the City ground is where his future lies. That's the pulling power we now possess. The Brazilian press are calling this a significant move, and they're absolutely right. We're not just buying a player, we're buying into a style of football that prioritizes attacking intent. Remember, this is a lad who's played alongside some of the finest attacking talents in South American football. And now he'll be providing width for the likes of Morgan Gibbs-White and Chris Wood. There's another dimension to consider here, the cultural impact. We've already established ourselves as a club that Brazilian players want to join, and Cuiabano's arrival reinforces that reputation. When word spreads through South American football that Forest treat their Brazilian players well, that opens doors for future recruitment that our rivals simply can't access. The transfer window closes on Monday, which means this deal needed to be resolved urgently. The fact that we've managed to navigate the complexities, overcome the salary negotiations, and secure Botafogo's agreement, that's the mark of a club operating at the highest level. So here's what I want to know. How excited are you about seeing Cuiabano bombing down that left flank in European competition? Can you imagine the scenes when he whips in his first cross at the City ground? Let me know in the comments, because what's coming next is going to show you that we're not just signing potential, we're signing proven quality from one of Europe's elite clubs. Right, let's talk about the defender who's already completed his medical, signed his 5-year contract, and cost us $13.4 million of serious money. This is Nicolo Savona, and his arrival from Juventus represents everything about our current ambitions. 22 years old, 40 appearances last season across Serie A, Champions League, and the FIFA Club World Cup. When I say Champions League experience, I'm not talking about a couple of substitute appearances. I'm talking about a lad who's faced the absolute elite of European football and held his own. That's the caliber of player we're now attracting to the City ground. But here's what makes this signing absolutely brilliant from a tactical perspective. Savona's versatility. He's primarily a right back, but he can slot into central defense or even cover the left side when needed. That's exactly what Nuno Espirito Santo needs for our European campaign. Players who can adapt to different systems and cover multiple positions without dropping the quality levels. Think about the journey this represents for our club. Savona joined Juventus's academy when he was 8 years old. 8! He's been developed by one of the most successful clubs in world football, trained alongside world-class professionals, and now he's chosen us as the next step in his career. That's not just a transfer. That's validation of everything we're building. The financial commitment is significant too, isn't it? $13.4 million for a defender shows serious intent from Evangelos Marinakis. We're not shopping in the bargain basement anymore. We're competing with established Premier League clubs for proven talent. And when you consider that Savona is just 22, this isn't just about immediate impact. This is about securing our defensive future for years to come. Here's a detail that perfectly illustrates the level we're operating at. Savona becomes our 9th signing of the summer. 9th. We've brought in Omari Hutchinson for $37.5 million, James McAtee for nearly $30 million, Arnaud Calamuendo for roughly $26 million, Dan Ndoye for $35 million. These aren't speculative punts anymore. These are serious investments in serious talent. But what I find most encouraging is Savona's attitude. Listen to what he said after signing. It is such a historic club, and the move is a dream come true. I can't wait to play in front of the fans at the City Ground, and I will give my all for the shirt. That's not just media-trained pleasantries. That's genuine enthusiasm from a player who understands what Forest means. The Champions League experience cannot be overstated. When we step out in European competition for the first time in 30 years, we'll have a defender who's already faced the continent's best attackers. That psychological advantage, that composure under pressure, that understanding of what elite European football demands, you cannot put a price on that knowledge. And tactically, his arrival gives Nuno so many more options. Whether we're playing a back four, switching to 3 center backs, or adapting our shape during matches, Savona's versatility means we can be unpredictable, we can respond to different challenges, we can compete on multiple fronts without compromising our defensive stability. This is also the second Juventus connection this summer, following Douglas Luiz's loan arrival. That's no coincidence. When top-level clubs are willing to do business with you repeatedly, it suggests a relationship built on trust and mutual respect. So here's what I need to know. How confident does Savona's signing make you feel about our defensive prospects this season? Are we looking at a player who could become a long-term cornerstone of our backline? Share your thoughts below, because what's coming next shows we're not done strengthening yet. There's a goalkeeper situation that's about to be resolved in spectacular fashion. Now let's discuss the position that's been frustrating Nuno Espirito Santo for months, and the Brazilian who's finally providing the solution our gaffer has been demanding. Meet John Victor, the 29-year-old goalkeeper who's been undergoing his medical with Forest, as Sky Sports confirmed this weekend. This isn't just any goalkeeper signing, is it? We're talking about a Brazil youth international who's played in the Club World Cup, Copa Libertadores, and Brazil's top flight. When you consider the level of competition he's faced, the pressure situations he's navigated, the elite attackers he's kept out, this is exactly the profile we needed to complement Matt Sells between the posts. Here's what makes this particularly satisfying. West Ham were also keen on John Victor, but they've missed out completely. While they're scrambling around trying to solve their creativity problems, we've been decisive and clinical in securing the goalkeeper our manager specifically wanted. That's the difference between a club with a clear vision and one that's reactive and chaotic. The journey to this point has been fascinating. We've been linked with David Soria from Getafe and Dominik Livakovic from Fenerbahce, both established European goalkeepers with impressive CVs. But we've returned to the Botafogo connection, and there's serious logic behind that decision. John Victor isn't just familiar with high-pressure football, he's thrived in it. Think about what Copa Libertadores football represents. Hostile environments, intense atmospheres, world-class attackers, matches that can define entire seasons. John Victor has experienced all of that and more. Now imagine that composure and experience applied to Premier League football and European competition. That's the kind of mentality we need when the pressure mounts. Nuno has been vocal about wanting this specific goalkeeper for most of the summer transfer window. The fact that we've delivered exactly what our manager requested shows the level of communication and planning happening behind the scenes. This isn't panic buying. This is strategic recruitment based on clear tactical requirements. The Brazilian connection continues to strengthen too, doesn't it? Between Cuiabano potentially arriving and John Victor joining Botafogo's Igor Jesus and Jair Cunha, who've already made the move, we're establishing ourselves as the Premier League destination for South American talent. That reputation opens doors for future transfer windows that our competitors simply cannot access. Here's a detail that showcases the level we're operating at. John Victor came through at Santos before moving to Botafogo in 2024. Santos, the club that developed Pelé, Neymar, countless Brazilian legends, the goalkeeper coaching, the technical standards, the expectations at a club like Santos, that's the foundation John Victor has built his career upon. The timing is perfect as well. We've already added Angus Gunn as backup for Matt Sells, but John Victor brings something different. International experience, South American tactical awareness, and the kind of shot-stopping ability that's been tested against some of the world's finest attackers. What I find most encouraging is how this signing fits our broader strategy. We're not just collecting talented individuals, we're building a squad with diverse experiences, different tactical perspectives, and complementary skill sets. John Victor's South American background adds another dimension to our goalkeeping department. The medical being completed this weekend means he could potentially be available for selection very quickly. Imagine the psychological impact on our opponents. Not only do they have to worry about Matt Sells' proven Premier League quality, but they know we've got a Club World Cup goalkeeper ready to step in at any moment. So here's my question for the Forest faithful. How much confidence does having 3 quality goalkeepers give you for our European campaign? Are we looking at the kind of squad depth that can handle multiple competitions? Let me know your thoughts, because what I'm about to reveal shows we are still not finished. There are 3 more signings potentially on the way before Monday's deadline. Right then, Forest fans. If you thought we were done, you couldn't be more wrong. There are still 3 positions that could be filled before Monday's deadline, and the ambition is absolutely staggering. According to Nottingham Forest journalist Paul Taylor, we're going to push for signings in 3 specific areas: left back, goalkeeper, and potentially a winger as well. That's on top of everything we've already discussed today. Think about what this represents for a moment. If all targets are secured, we'll have added 12 new players to the squad. 12! That's not just squad building. That's complete squad transformation. When you consider we're returning to European competition after 30 years, having that kind of depth isn't luxury, it's absolute necessity. The left back situation could be resolved as early as today, Saturday. We know Cuiabano's deal with Botafogo is progressing, but there's also been strong links to Victor Christiansen from Leicester City. Either way, we're getting attacking width from that position, and that's going to revolutionize how we approach matches both domestically and in Europe. But here's what I find most impressive. Evangelos Marinakis and Edu are delivering exactly what Nuno Espirito Santo has requested. Remember those frustrations our gaffer expressed about recruitment earlier in the window? Well, those concerns are being addressed systematically and comprehensively. That's the mark of owners who listen, who understand, and who back their manager properly. The winger pursuit is particularly intriguing. Delane Bakwa from Strasbourg has been mentioned as having a similar profile to Anthony Elanga. Imagine that for a moment. Pace, directness, the ability to stretch defenses and create chances for our strikers. With European fixtures coming thick and fast, having multiple options in wide positions isn't just sensible, it's essential. And let's talk about the financial commitment here. We've already spent over $150 million this summer across all our signings. The fact that we're potentially adding 3 more players shows this isn't about balancing books or making token gestures. This is about building a squad capable of competing on every front. The goalkeeper situation with John Victor might seem resolved, but having multiple options in every position reflects the reality of modern football when you're playing Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup, and Europa League fixtures. You need quality depth everywhere, including between the posts. What strikes me most is the strategic thinking behind all this activity. We're not just buying players randomly. We're addressing specific tactical requirements that our European campaign demands. Every signing fits a purpose, fills a gap, adds a dimension that we'll need when facing different styles of opposition across different competitions. The deadline day drama is building, isn't it? Monday is going to be absolutely crucial for determining whether we can complete this remarkable transformation. But even if we only secure half of these remaining targets, we'll have assembled one of the most exciting squads in our modern history. So here's what this all means for us as far as supporters. We're not just back in Europe, we're back with genuine ambition to make an impact. The owners aren't content with participation. They want performance. They want results. They want success. As we stand on the brink of what could be the most transformative transfer window in decades, I can't help but feel that something special is brewing at the City Ground. The question isn't whether we're ready for European football, it's whether European football is ready for us. What do you think defines us as a club right now? Are we looking at the foundation of something truly magnificent, or am I getting carried away by all this transfer excitement? Drop your thoughts below, smash that like button if you're as buzzing as I'm about our prospects, and make sure you subscribe because the next few